Hello, hello, it's me, you beautiful people. I'm here to update you on what's happening in Star Atlas, as always. Now, this video, we're going to have a look at some Foundation Room Alpha. We got some new videos and some new, a picture to show you specifically. And there's one tool that I really wanted to show you guys. And maybe we can play around with it a little bit. And maybe, I'm sure this tool has probably exists. Some other DACs have made this probably, but I found a really tiny DAC that has created a great tool that I've been waiting for, right? Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for liking and subscribing. If you do see the Pepe, that is the time to like and subscribe. Now, I'm going to introduce Colibre Espacial, who is this DAC that I wanted to highlight very quickly. They've only got 80 followers. They are followed by Santi, though. So Santi is aware of them. And they also seem to like Project Elune. Why am I mentioning these guys? I went to their Discord and I ended up finding out they have a really great tool. Let's have a look at it. This tool, this is what I've been waiting for. I don't think I ever mentioned it once, but if you guys remember Step End in Solana, they used to have like a Step End guide, right? And there was a Step End calculator. So you could put like whatever shoes you had, what level it had, and all your points, you could distribute it according to the rules of the game, right? So this is what they've done exactly for your player progression, because we have already information from the Sage game manual that you'll be able to have a certain number of points at a certain level. And when you get some points, you can put it in lots of different places. So some of them are the number of fleets you can actually have, the weight of your the weight of the fleets of each fleet, as in like how the size of it, the crew available to craft. The fee discounts as a percentage of what you get from the Star Path access or the Star Path fees. And of course, your respawn timer. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can actually play around with this. And this is a CPP program as well. Because remember, they don't want people with large ships to just go into Sage and start dominating the gameplay. They want people to actually, because, well, everyone starts at level 0. So how are you going to pilot a level 50 ship? Well, you know what I mean, right? So you have to first take your ship, go to Star Atlas, you'll put that as collateral, get a smaller size ship, play with the smaller size ship until you put enough points into your character for you to play this level 50 ship. That's the idea, right? I hope you guys get that. And they've made this kind of tool for people to understand that process and how to actually go from there. So I'm going to start at the top, right? I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but as always, I'm going to leave the link of this in the description so you can go and experiment. This is games, right? When we find something new, we want to go and experiment with it. We want to play with it. So let's go ahead and say I'm a level 20 player, okay? I've got 30 points to spend. When you're level 20, you get 30 points. These are the total points available. Now let's go and see how many ships you want to run yourself, what fleet size you have, your crafting specialty, your star path fees, and even your expenditure resources. Rescue, sorry, not resources. So let's say I'm a level 20 person. It depends what playstyle you're playing as well, right? Are you a fighting playstyle person? So are you in mud? Or are you in like a logistics or a stealth kind of playstyle? What are you going for? Are you a crafter? Are you like a builder? Are you a collector? Don't know, right? So let's say I'm level 20 and I only want to be able to control 2 fleets, okay? I want my attention only on 2 fleets. Let's say I've got double screens, right? As I do now, one on one fleet. I'm controlling another fleet there. So I only want actual 2 concurrent fleets, okay? Very simple, okay? So with concurrent fleets, you can put 2, and it seems like you can have 3. Number of fleets available, 3. Very easy. I didn't know it was actually, I hadn't looked at this ahead of time, so I didn't know how many fleets you could have overall. But as you can see here, you have 30 points. You can divvy this up between your fleets, your fleet size, your crafting capacity, whatever. Let's go. I want to go level 2 in concurrent fleets. So I can have 3 fleets currently available. So that's fine. What about the fleet size? Let's say you can have, let's go take that to level 10. You can have a value of 11. So that means up to 11 ships in one fleet. I think that's what that means. Crafting capacity, crew available to craft. Now, keep in mind, this is actually in another language. It's just taken over into English because this is not an English-speaking guild. Star Path access. If I want to have 10 points in Star Path because I'm going to be traveling a lot, I'm going to put 10 points from my level 20 rank player into star path fees, and I'm going to have 5% off the star path reduction fees. Is that actually worth it, right? You got to weigh it up. How much is a star path fee worth? And is 5% worth it to lose 10 of your points? Well, 10 of your points, can you get an extra ship? And with that extra ship, can you haul more cargo? And is that going to make up for all the star path fees of 5% that you're paying? Right? So you got to do the math behind it a little bit. Now, there is also the respawn timer. Let's say I put it to 5. I'm going to have a 2.5% respawn time reduction. Now, remember, we only have safe zone and the medium risk zone. There is no high risk zone yet. So you will have to, either send a distress signal. You send it now, and another time someone will come and get you, which is like part of the gameplay loop that's going to come later. So you can have a 2.5% reduction spawn timer. Is that worth it? Is that 5 minutes? Is that 10 minutes? Are you worried that someone's going to come and take all of your loot? Don't know. I think currently the best thing is current fleet size, crafting capacity, and the fleet concurrent fleets. That's what I think. Now, let's go ahead and look at the commander progression program. Same thing again. You have a whole bunch of points, and then you can go ahead and borrow some ships. So let's say you start off with one large ship. You have one large ship, nothing else. You don't have anything else. You can't play this large ship first, right? Because you don't have the experience for it. So you're going to get 25 CPP points, or as we like to say, PP points. Or player progression points, or progression. There's a whole bunch of different acronyms that is a bit funny. Remember that there was a guy at Star Atlas that used to make up really good names. Where is he? I haven't seen that guy in a while. Like Cream and Scream. Anyway. Yeah, so let's go. You have one large ship. You're going to break this down into all the different ships you can borrow from the CPP program. Okay, so you got large ship here. You can borrow a large ship, but it's 35 points. You can't borrow 30. You can't use your 35 points because you only have 25, right? So you can only borrow one medium ship, which is 15 points. At the end, I don't know if you can see. You've got let's move this so you can see. You've got 10 points right there. 10 points after taking out a medium ship from the CPP program. You got 10 points left. You can take out a small, an extra small, or an extra small. There's 6 points, 3, and 1. So let's say you can take one of these, then you got 4 left. You can take one of these and one of these. Awesome. You've now used all of your points. Okay, so from one large, you've now got one medium, one small, one extra small, and one extra small. If you want, you can not even take any of these. You can just take a whole bunch of smalls. You can take a whole bunch of smalls, as you can see. Let's go ahead. You can take 4 smalls and one extra small. How's about that? Yeah. So you can put up your large and take 4 smalls. But I really think, there is a big difference between the ship sizes, so you might want that medium. Awesome. So I want to say thank you very much for Colibre. You can mess around with this just to, because I won't mess around too much with this. Don't make any plans on this, because as we know, things are going to change between now, the DevNet and mainnet. So it's good to have a small idea. This was built from the Game Sage manual, but I think just play around with it. Nothing else. Just play around with it. Next up, I want to give you a small picture of the week by Tenet. This picture is awesome. This is the Ogrica Thripid in the racing module, the dogfight racing module. And I don't know how long he had to wait. He probably had to defeat all the first 4 waves, right? And then he went to park his X4 bike, get off, and come and go to the side and wait for the Ogrica Thripid to come and shoot at his X4. That's an awesome shot. That's an awesome shot. I wonder how many times he had to wait to actually do that. And Tenet also provides some really great pictures in Discord. You guys go ahead and follow him. Go see him. Now, I want to cover one thing that, man, this was difficult. I felt for Ashes for this. So Ashes is trying to help doing some stuff for Star Atlas, hosting the future of Web3 gaming. This is a small Twitter space that was done about 9 hours ago. 800 people tuned in. And let's listen to some of the stuff that was in this Twitter space. I'm gonna give you a warning. It's not great. Listen.
Let's switch topics. Can we go to our number 2 question? Let's keep it positive in the room, a little light and airy. Let's keep building and making positive vibes in here. We don't need to get, negative and go into the whole FTX debacle. And we were just having a nice little conversation, and we went on a tangent, and everything was going great. So let's get back on those vibes, and let's
People gotta protect their Web 2 bags, dude. I get it.
What bags? I
Okay.
don't own a single one of their NFTs.
All right. Okay.
So it's a whole bunch of conversation, I feel for Ashes. This is her job is to try and help promote Star Atlas a little bit, keep it positive. That is her job. But sometimes people aren't positive, right? As you guys know, sometimes I'm positive, sometimes I'm negative. If Star Atlas does something wrong, I'm like, fuck, that's bad. If FTX went down, I'm like, fuck, it's bad. Like, geez. So yeah, I listening to this whole thing, like some people made some good points, but most of these Twitter spaces, it's hard to judge these ones, right? I'm an advocate of having an open forum like this and everyone coming in to be able to chat and stuff and be able to voice their opinion, which is good. But let's be honest, some people's opinion are stupid. I'm going to be honest, right? My opinion sometimes is stupid, okay? So I'm an advocate for this kind of stuff, but at the same time, it needs to be controlled. It needs to be in a controlled environment. You can't just have anyone come up and say whatever they want to say. That's not going to end well. All it takes is someone taking one short a snippet with like my face on it and my voice, and all of a sudden, like it's blown out of proportion. It goes mini viral, and all of a sudden, oh crap! Like how am I having to deal with this now? This is especially difficult if you're in the front lines of like the media, or if you're front lines of Twitter, or if you're an actual personality for something. So this is super difficult. I feel for Ashes during this phase, but it's the bear market. Even though we had a small blip up, people are still feeling this, right? Let's listen a bit more.
I'm going to go to my next question on my little...
Needs to learn through. I'd like to follow that too, Ardo, because yes, I agree. Web 2
blockchain into the
not in the gaming world.
Wasting our time right now, trying to race to the bottom or undercut each other or do the wrong things. You could be a good person and make good business decisions and be a thought leader and a pioneer and still make a shitload of money. There are millions of examples of that through time.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's move on. Next thing I want to talk about is just something small. I don't think it's alpha at all. We were in the foundation room and Michael said, yes, there's 200 people still working at Star Atlas. I think it was Mustache Ride or someone else, actually. No, it wasn't Mustache Ride. Let's see who it was. Who was it? Let's go to the foundation room. And it was... go all the way down. Go to... it was Mandalorian, the Mandalorian. He asked, so there's 90 people at Automata. That means there's 110 people not at Automata. Where are they? And Michael Wagner says, we're working with 6 game studios. So I assume of these 6 game studios, they have 110 people. And I'm assuming the majority of them are Spirasoft. And I was like, okay, can you provide the names of these people? And so he provided this, which is from the content pipelines. I'm not sure if it's from the original kind of Solana hackathon, a breakpoint, that this was given out. I don't remember seeing this. I would have done a little bit more research. But these are the game studios that are currently helping develop Star Atlas, right? We have Spirasoft, which is probably the big one, right? Spirasoft is helping with the environment. It's helping with characters, and it's helping with game design. We have, for ships, we have Sentient Art Studios and Lost Pixels, pretty good. For characters, we have VertPaint. For animations and VFX, we have RenderDoc. And for game design, we have Kavuru. So all of these are established game developers. I have looked up a little bit of them. Like Kavuru is building Undead Blocks at the moment. RenderDoc, not sure. RenderDoc, not sure. VertPaint, I don't know. Yeah, as I said, I did very superficial research on this. But if people want to take it to the next level and find out more about these guys, some of them are like vehicle leads at Star Atlas, and they have their own companies, of course. Doesn't matter. These are just some companies that are helping Star Atlas build the game that we know. Now, next up is a little pictures from the foundation room. This, I think, was the Grenadier. I think it was. Let's see what he wrote. Yeah, this is the hydroponics bay at the rear of the Grenadier in the white boxing stage. So hydroponics bay, look at this. You'll be able to grow your own food in there. What does that actually mean? You might be able to decrease your food consumption of the ship, because we know food is being used when you're mining something without a claim stake by the beginning, when it first starts, right? Now it's interesting. You can see a whole bunch of other stuff in there as well. Like, what is that? Exercise equipment, perhaps, maybe exercise equipment. You can see, of course, this is the hydroponics bay with a few models in T-posing. It is a very, very like minimal hydroponics bay, but hey, it's just white box for now. And you can see in the bottom here, AZ Grenadier design. Yeah, nothing else in this to really... Oh, there's a little word there. Can you see that word? What does that say? PR. Not sure. Not sure. Yeah, and let's look at our next picture. This is him demonstrating lumens. Remember, the showroom is going to be going to showroom 2.1 because UE5 is going to 5.1. They're integrating some new lighting system and a few other features to make it a bit better, right? So they have access to this now. They're trying to implement it in the game, and you can see some of the lighting inside here, and it looks pretty damn good. It looks pretty damn good. There's a video as well of him demonstrating the same thing. So let's take a second and watch this. So I think this is in a PS ship. Not going to say which one. So you can see him moving the sun around, and you can see where the light actually goes, and you know the different shading, the perspectives. And this is the same picture we looked at. Looks good. It looks sick as hell. What do you think? Looks very good. We just need to get some nice, like, scripted movement of it or something. Yeah, that's what we need. Yeah, so that's that. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with something from the Foundation Room, which I think is worth discussing just very slightly. Zap says, is it possible to get a one-time opportunity to change the selected faction before the Sage mainnet launches? Players made their selection of factions with little information. This is very true, okay? So they're talking about your faction selection. In Solana, you have an account that you've associated now with your ships and your score. You had to select a faction, Mud, Oni, or Oyster. So far, you can't change them. It's account bound. It's like designated to your wallet. You can't change it. Impossible. Michael has now come out and say, actually, just chatted with the team about this week, as it's been requested in the past. And the good news is that the player profile they're working on replaces the legacy faction selection program. Player profiles was going to inherit your previous selection, but we're going to instead allow players to reselect. So yes, you have an opportunity to change your factions with your existing wallet. This is huge news. I think, it's not huge, but it's bigger than normal news, right? Because I don't know if you guys remember, this is the faction selection screen. When you first came into Star Atlas, you had to select which faction to go into. You had to Mud, Firepower, Industrious, Oyster, Hull Strength, and Exploratory. Oni was Diplomatic and Technological. And you can see from like the statistics now, there's a whole bunch of different people coming into Mud. There's a whole bunch of people with like in Oni who have a whole bunch of polis to influence voting. So people are starting to play the game. But that was ages ago, right? That's like 2 years ago when people started coming in. Now people might want to change. And now they might actually have the opportunity to change. That's very significant, right? Secondly, there's a small item to remind ourselves here is that people are afraid of changing because they don't want to lose the status on their ships from score so that they can get the loyalty points. But it doesn't matter now, right? You're going to be able to change your ship to another faction very easily. So I don't know if it's actually worth changing or if it's not worth changing, but I think it's big news. You can play a different faction now. You have a second chance at choosing a faction. Usually in MMORPGs, when you choose that one faction, you can't choose another faction to join. No, you have to start a new account. Okay. So I think this is a good thing. It'll allow people a bit more flexibility. So now that I know it's been 2 years after, I'm very interested to see where people are going to go, right? Very, very interested. I think Mud has the highest firepower, also has the highest people. Oyster is the least of all, and only has the highest polis. That's the main points that I remember. I think there's a few other stuff you can suss out on the blockchain, but that's all I know for now. So yeah, I want to know, what do you guys think? Like, is it good that we can now reselect our profiles? I think so. I think so, right? But it shouldn't be a temporary thing. You should just be able to do it once. This is like just a one-off thing. You shouldn't be able to just always change your factions. That makes no sense. The game will break, right? You're able to have your faction are your only items, and then all of a sudden you're in Oyster, and all of the stuff you owned here is now here. Like when the coordinate system starts up, it'll be impossible. Okay? All right, guys. That's it for now. Thank you guys very much for liking and subscribing. Thank you for listening to me rant for 20 minutes about Star Atlas. I try and keep you guys updated. I keep myself updated on Star Atlas because I want to, and I want to play this game when it comes out. All right. Ciao for now. Bye.